Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of the Live Coding with Tanmay series. I hope you're all doing well. Thanks for joining in today. Now today we've got some really interesting stuff we're going to cover. We're going to be really tying together a lot of the different concepts and a lot of the different applications we worked on in the past few episodes. You may know that the last live coding that we did, we actually went ahead and implemented DeepDream from scratch in Python, and then we opened up a REST API and then called DeepDream from iOS using Swift. Now the issue with that is that, of course, we had Swift on the front end for iOS, and then we had Python in the back end, and a lot of machine learning development is complex. DeepDream was pretty simple, so it didn't really matter. We could do things in Python, it was okay. But when you get to really complex machine learning development, then Python doesn't really suffice, right? If you're working on a tree recursive neural network, then you don't want to implement that in Python. You want to use a language that's built for machine learning, something like Julia or something like Swift. And when you're building backends like REST APIs, again, Python isn't particularly great for that because of performance issues. You want to use a language like Go that can handle all the requests that you're going to throw at it. But then that gives us another problem, right? We've got Swift, which is great for machine learning and deep learning, and then we've got Go, which is great for the back end. So what we're going to do today is we're going to explore how we can actually code the machine learning element of DeepDream from scratch in pure Swift. So we're not going to use any Python or anything. We're going to be doing this, pure Swift. Then we're going to compile that to native code on a Linux machine, and then we're going to call it from Go code to open up, potentially open up a REST API and call it from iOS. But really, our plan is to get DeepDream called from Go. So I guess let's dive right into it. Of course, I'm being joined today by my friend Omer. And so, Omer, would you like to say hi to everybody?
Hi everyone, my name is Omer Kamal and I'm a colleague of Tammy.
Wonderful. All right, let's start. So to begin today, let's go through our environment and what our plan is.
Mhm.
So what we've already gone ahead and done, everybody, is we have opened up a Docker container on Omer's machine. So this is running, of course, Ubuntu. And this Ubuntu machine we're going to install, of course, the Go language and the Swift language to the Docker container. Now, what we're going to do after that is we're going to use both of these languages, of course, and within Linux, we are going to figure out a way to compile Swift to a shared library that we can then go ahead and call from Go. Now, what's really nice about Go and Swift is that they're compiled languages, and specifically, they're what's called ahead-of-time compiled languages. So languages like Julia, for example, are something called JIT compilers, or just-in-time compiled compilers. Is Java an example of a JIT?
It is compiled, but I guess it's been,
It's being compiled to bytecode, though, so it's being
yes.
compiled to its own.
I believe it get compiled when it get run
Yeah,
at
so it's
the
JIT.
JVM.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, so what happens is, languages like Julia or Java, what they're doing is they're saying, all right, if you're calling this function, then at the moment when you call the function, that's when we're going to compile that function and cache the compiled version of it, so that we can call that compiled version so it's super fast from here on out. So the first invocation is pretty slow, but then from there on out, it's pretty fast. This is more so of an issue. It's not really an issue, but it's more so of an issue with Julia than it is with Java, because Java actually uses the JVM. And so the first invocation isn't really that slow. So Java, Julia, they're JITs. The issue with just-in-time compiled languages is that they're traditionally a little bit harder to call from other languages. There have been some sort of efforts to try and get languages like Julia to do ahead-of-time compilation, and they work pretty well. But the thing is, when you have an ahead of time compiled language where you are taking your code and compiling it to native machine code for a specific architecture or a specific platform, then at that point you essentially have the machine code and you can call it from any other language that supports calling machine code. So like C, C++, Swift, Fortran, Go, these languages, you can compile them just down to machine code, so it's essentially language agnostic, apart from the fact that it would need whatever libraries it's linked against, but that's a whole other thing. And then you could technically call that machine code in library form, is what it's called, shared library form, from any other code that you write or any other language. And so today we're going to be taking a look at how you can actually leverage that ability within Go. So there are going to be two components to this. Of course, there's going to be the Swift component, there's going to be the Go component. I say we jump right into figuring out the Swift component to begin with. All right, let's start. So what I'm going to quickly do is open up Chrome on my machine so we can actually go ahead and figure stuff out.
Do you disconnect by any chance?
Sorry?
Did you get disconnected by any chance?
I did get disconnected from the VS Code.
Yeah, I just did something one minute.
All right, so you can go ahead and fix that. In the meanwhile, we can get started with Swift. Now, I'm going to go ahead and actually share my screen so people can take a look at what I'm doing in a moment. Just going to open up my GitHub repository quickly.
Okay. I sent you the link again to join.
Wonderful. I'll join that in a minute. All right, so everybody, as you can see over here, and I'm also going to share my screen with Omer just so you can see what I'm doing. Wonderful. All right, so as you can see, everybody, over here we've got the GitHub repository open called Swift APIs. Well, technically we don't want Swift APIs, we want Swift models, I believe it's called, yeah. So Swift models, this repository contains a bunch of different sample models to use or for reference for Swift or TensorFlow. It's like a model zoo kind of. They've got all sorts of examples here. My idea is that we go ahead and take maybe if they have a ResNet or a VGG network already implemented and they've already got pre-trained weights, we go ahead and take the code from here for that, and then essentially just go ahead and repurpose that code for DeepDream. So how about we go ahead and try that out. Now let's go ahead and see if they actually have a VGG. Maybe it would be in the examples folder. Okay, they do have a VGG. I'm not sure if that's the ImageNet one though. They have mobile nets, but those are, I don't want to use a small network, we should use a bigger network. Okay, there's an ImageWolf dataset. I think that's just a smaller version of ImageNet. Alright. So this is yeah, basically a smaller version of ImageNet. That doesn't seem too hard to use. Oh, okay, it's only 10 classes though. Still, it might be interesting to take a look at. Let's take a look at the code that goes behind it just so we can figure out if it's something we want to do. Right. So what's interesting is, really quickly before we continue, and also, by the way, again, we would like to, we would love to answer any questions that you have. All right, so really quickly, I am seeing there is a bit of a concern with the voice lag. So if there is, do let me know, and we will fix that. But at the moment, we're going to keep going. Okay, it's fine now. Perfect. All right, so yeah, what I was saying is that Swift for TensorFlow supports this thing called XLA, and XLA is really interesting. Well, technically, the Swift for TensorFlow implementation of it is called X10, not XLA. But XLA itself, if I were to sort of show you what that does here, give that a moment. All right, so looks like Chrome is being a little slow, unfortunately. Oh no, not X10. We want XLA TensorFlow. So XLA is basically this this sort of project within TensorFlow to do just-in-time compilation of TensorFlow graphs. So you may know that one of the sort of gripes that I've had with TensorFlow for some time is that you can either write eager mode code that is really, really slow, but it's super easy to write. You can use Python control flow, you can do all sorts of things. Or you can write graph codes where you actually compile, you manually sort of compile a graph of TensorFlow operations, and then you run your code. So it's super fast because TensorFlow knows every operation you're going to be doing in advance and can optimize your graph. or but it's like really difficult to write that code. So you've got to go to either end of the extreme. But with XLA, which stands for Accelerated Linear Algebra, what they do is they make it so you can write pretty simple code, honestly, within even TensorFlow, Python TensorFlow. And they can optimize those operations to get them to be as fast as possible. So the first pass through your graph, like the first sort of forward-backward iteration of your neural network might be slow, but then from there on out, the rest of them are going to be super fast. As a matter of fact, even existing graph code can get around 1.15 times faster on like NVIDIA V100 GPUs after you implement XLA. And so XLA is very, very interesting. And so it's really the kind of backend that would fit for a language like Swift for TensorFlow. And X10 is, of course, the Swift for TensorFlow effort to implement XLA for the language. All right, so I'm seeing a comment from Navia. She's saying, isn't XLA slower? No, XLA is actually a lot faster than regular TensorFlow graph and TensorFlow eager execution, which is the entire reason Google's sort of building it out. And with an XLA backend for Swift for TensorFlow, we get the amazing syntax and the other advantages like the compiler support of Swift, but we also get the wonderful performance of XLA. Now, I will say, personally, the day they get graph program extraction working for Swift is going to be amazing. But go ahead.
Do we need to install TensorFlow into the Docker image now? Yeah.
No, we don't need to install TensorFlow because when you install the Swift for TensorFlow toolchain of Swift, it comes with TensorFlow linked.
Okay. I do need to restart the session because I haven't exposed any port. So there's no way for us to really
just use ngrok.
Oh, we can do that too.
Yeah. We'll just do that. Don't restart. We've already restarted the container like twice. All right. So yeah, that's a bit of a sort of background behind this thing called XLA and X10, which is why over here you see, I'm not sure if these are called preprocessor macros in Swift. I think they are in C, but something like a preprocessor macro in Swift. It's just checking if the OS is Mac OS. If so, it's using the TensorFlow eager execution backend. Otherwise, if it's Linux, they'll use XLA. Swift for TensorFlow, as far as I know, doesn't officially support Windows. And the reason that they have to do this is because there's currently a bug on Mac OS that prevents you from using XLA. And so since we want a pretty fast API, let's be honest, we want it to be fast, we're going to be doing this on Linux. Still, though, I think this is interesting code. Unfortunately, this doesn't give us pre-trained weights. This actually is having us like train from scratch, which I don't want to have to train right now. So let's go ahead and find a network that's pre-trained, even if it's like a Sci-Far 10. We don't want super low res images now. Let's go to models. Maybe there's something in models. Image classification. See if we can get a ResNet. All right, so they do have ResNet, but I'm not sure if they actually have pre-trained weights. That's the whole sort of issue here. Do they have any releases? No, they don't have any releases. Let's just search weights in the repository. If they don't, then we're going to have to do the fun task of actually going into Python, extracting the weights from a pre-trained model in Python, and then loading them into Swift.
We can. Can we not just load in the H5 files directly?
Remember, the way that Swift for TensorFlow and Keras structure their weights is different, so we have to like reshape a bunch of the layers.
Okay.
But we can do it. Yes, that's what I was gonna do anyway. Okay, it doesn't look like they actually have any pre-trained weights here. That's unfortunate. Well, it looks like they might. Remember, we're not doing style transfer. We're doing we are doing DeepDream, which is kind of similar, but let's see. Demo weights. All right, so this is a completely different like network architecture. I'm not sure if we want to. I'm not sure if we want to use that right now. All right, looks like we are going to extract weights from a Python model. Isn't that fun?
That's funny.
Fun.
Let me just install. So what do we need to install for TensorFlow for Swift?
Well, let's go ahead and do that. You sent me the VS Code invite?
Yes, let me send you again to make sure you have it. Okay. Click on the last one, essentially.
All right, sure. Really quickly, before we continue, I do see a question on the live stream. Can we get Swift running on Windows 10? Swift itself, fortunately, does support Windows now. Before they unofficially supported it, but now that the LLVM project has officially supported Windows, Swift has now also officially supported Windows.
Why do you sound kind of upset?
Well, I'm happy because now more people can use Swift. But here's the thing: while the Swift project does support Windows, the Swift for TensorFlow project doesn't yet because there's a layer of extra complexity getting something like that running on Windows. I mean, even just raw TensorFlow doesn't really work that well on Windows. So I would recommend you use Windows Subsystem for Linux.
Have you
I've
sent a
joined, but I'm
request?
waiting for host approval.
I haven't seen the approval yet. It doesn't look like you got sent.
That's
Can you try again?
sure. So here's what we're gonna do. We're going to actually, just so you know, everybody, Keras is like, I mean, this is something that's been a reoccurring theme on the live stream for many episodes. But Keras is a lot easier to use than a lot of libraries because they don't really focus on flexibility. They're just like, okay, you've already got these components. You want to use them to build a neural network. It's super simple. You can go ahead and do that. And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to load a pre-trained Keras model, which is essentially just... oh, would you look at that? My VS Code installation is corrupt, apparently.
You kind of have to stop using. Oh, you're gonna do it from the browser.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So, yeah, so we're going to load up a Keras pre-trained model, and we're going to use a model that's relatively simple and doesn't use a lot of like complex structure. So something like VGG, which is basically just a sequential bunch of convolutions, no batch normalization, nothing fancy. And what I'm going to do, oh, I got to sign in as well.
Yes, because if you continue as a guest, you're just gonna get rejected.
Yeah, but what we're going to do is we will take that super simple VGG network from Keras, and we will actually go ahead, export layer by layer the weights to a NumPy file, so a .np file, and then we'll go ahead and import that NP file into Swift. All right, so I can see that Omer's already got his Go code up, which is good. You can see we've got a Golang folder, we've got a Swift folder. Nothing in the Swift folder yet. So within the Swift folder, I'm just going to create a new file. And how ironic, the first file in the Swift folder is going to be a Python file. So convertweights.py. All right, let's get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by importing Keras. So from keras.applications.
So tell me,
Yes.
we need to install Keras, TensorFlow, all that stuff for Python.
Yes, as a matter of fact, now that you mentioned it, let's do TensorFlow.Keras. So then that way, wait, do we have pip installed? Wait, can you give me rewrite access to the terminal?
Yes, make terminal rewrite for everyone.
All right, so do we have pip installed? No. Do we have Python 3 installed? Yes, but what I'll do is just, have you already updated apt?
Yeah, can you not just do Python 3 dash am, I think, pip and then install.
Well, first we need to actually get the two, like, actual Python modules installed. So let's just do that. It'll take a minute. In the meanwhile, we can actually write the code. So let's try and figure out what the format of the Keras API is for loading pre-trained models. So it should be pretty much just tf keras.applications import vgg16 and then call that as a function, and it should load in the model. So from tf,
I think one of the stuff we should really do first
what?
Is to make sure that we can at least call Swift from Go.
I've
Get
done
that?
it before. We can do
Okay.
that.
Because I haven't done this at all yet.
I'm 100% sure we can do it. It requires a tiny bit of trickery, but it works.
Yeah, you know, we have Google for that.
Yeah, exactly. Why else do we have Google? All right, so if we go to Swift, we should have the thing. Oh, all right, but we want to install TensorFlow, and oh god, I want to make sure we have at least version 2, because TensorFlow 1.0 is... Isn't that just great? Unsupported locale setting. Well, let's see why we have this issue. I have never experienced this Python error. Okay, it shouldn't be too hard.
Does it matter if that's the issue?
Well, yeah, because now we can't install any packages or run any Python code.
Ooh, yeah, you're right.
Alright.
Nice.
Well, that threw another error, but okay. Oh, maybe we need to like actually install...
Maybe?
Wait, hold up, don't run that. Locales is not installed.
This is actually the first time I even hit this issue in like a Docker image.
Yeah, same, actually. Where'd you get this Docker image from?
Look, I literally searched for Swift, and this was the first one that showed up, okay? I rather, like, I know how to install Golang, I don't know how to install Swift. I don't want to deal with it right now.
Oh god, what is happening?
Oh, wow. Just do all, come on.
Alright. So...
Hopefully it works.
Well...
I'm gonna look quickly.
This is confusing, indeed.
One sec, let me run some commands.
Alright.
Just install all.
Again?
Do I need to put X? No.
No, you could have just clicked enter.
Oh.
Well, you're at the very bottom of the list now.
How long is this list, man?
It's very long. There are lots of...
Okay, just press cancel.
Yeah, just click tab and then it'll go to cancel and then you can switch.
Okay, one sec. Okay.
Alright, let's see if that fixed anything.
No, one sec.
What?
No, I'm just curious. I want to try some stuff.
Yeah. That's already installed. I just installed that.
One sec. There we go. What?
How did you get that to work? What? Well, I mean, I can fix that issue, but how did you get that to work?
There was just some stuff you have to run.
All right. Well,
So it
I'm
looked like
not
we
gonna
need to
ask.
generate. No, we need. It looked like we need to generate the like the locale.
Okay. Well, first time I've ever experienced that issue, but at least I won't ever again.
Wait, why can't I just install that just TensorFlow?
So
Well, the
if you
version?
want TensorFlow 2.0, then you need a new version of pip.
Oh, can we not just quickly install the new version of it?
I just did, and that's why I ran that, and now I'm installing
Okay.
TensorFlow.
Sorry, I'm a little bit slow on this.
No worries. Okay, so either A, it's taking a long time to download TensorFlow, or the terminal is frozen for me.
Wait, let me see how would you see right now.
Yeah, look at my screen.
I'm pretty sure it's frozen for you.
Yeah, well, of course, just my luck. So let's
I'm
refresh.
seeing, I'm seeing all the like everything's downloaded, just doing the installation and something failed.
Oh
Error.
god.
Well, actually, no. After you may experience. Oh, I think that's not really an error. Have you seen this before?
I'm gonna take a look at that. Visual Studio, of course, being as slow as possible.
Just blame your IP. I mean ISP.
It's actually more than likely Zoom's fault, but
And Slack.
yes, actually, Slack takes a surprising amount of compute.
You know the funny thing is,
What?
from all my like I use IntelliJ for all my languages like Python, Bash, Golang, basically anything that it can run, and that doesn't use as much like resource as Slack, which is supposed to be very lightweight.
Yeah, no, Slack uses Electron, so of course it is a
So
resource hog.
so one day I went to sleep. I left my laptop to the side because I passed out, and then I woke up. My laptop was completely dead. Like it was like 1% left, super hot. I'm like, what could be using this? And then I look at it, I'm like, Slack is trying to update. Like just that pop-up alone used so much.
Yeah, yeah, Slack is notoriously terrible with compute. But, I mean, what else can you really expect when you're using um, Electron, of all things? Anyhow, do I have rewrite access to your terminal?
Please just do it, and then it should be read right.
Okay, first
I'm
I
not
just see
sure.
like a frozen progress bar on my screen
Still?
under the terminal. Yeah, even after a refresh. Just create a new terminal.
Okay. Let's make it in here, and then can you see it?
Yep, I can see
That
this
should-
one. Oh, request rewrite.
Okay. I'm guessing this for any newcomers, they don't get it right away.
Okay, so now in theory we should be able to run convert weights. Well, we need Python 3, and then it should go ahead and print out a summary of VGG16.
Okay, good. I was thinking, like, wait, is it looking for GPUs now? Like, come on.
No, no. What's nice is previously with TensorFlow 1 you would have two separate pip packages, TensorFlow and TensorFlow
Mhm.
GPU. Now it's just TensorFlow, and if it doesn't detect any CUDA libraries, it doesn't like crash or anything. It just says, all right, we won't use the GPU.
The worst thing is, I think they're like 1 or 2 gig each, and then trying to put it into a Docker image is just overkill.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like we've got all the layers here. That's nice. Now all we would really need to do is do model.getWeights. And one thing I do want to do is for weight in model.getWeights, I want to print out the shape of the weight. And then what we're going to do is we're going to basically just instantiate the same VGG16 in Swift.
Mm-hmm.
Run that code, please, when you can. Oh, wait, you're in a different bash.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So when we run that code, we get all the different weight shapes, which looks good to me. Now, what we're going to also do really quickly is instantiate the exact same model in Swift, and then print out the weight shapes same way. And if we get the exact same weights, so it's like a 1-to-1 correspondence of weight in Python to weight in Swift, then we'll just do a blind load. If it looks like there is a bit of a discrepancy, then we will actually go into the weights and manually align which weight goes where. Hopefully, we get the easy way out, but if not, then we'll figure out a way to get it to work. That's what we're here for.
You know, I feel like if we want to continue using Docker with VS Code, we have to create like one image that have everything we need. Because like I have to constantly just install stuff on the side for no reason.
That's annoying.
And then if you refresh, you start from the beginning.
Ooh, well, let's try not to reload.
Yes, let's not reload anything.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is create a new Swift file called vgg16.swift. Within here, I'm going to import TensorFlow, of course, and then we're going to go over to Swift models and try and figure out where they keep their VGG16 source code. Or hopefully they have a VGC16 implementation. They do. They do. That's good. Okay, so we just basically would need to copy these two into here. Okay, that looks good to me. So we've got the VGG block, and within the block, of course, we've got the inner blocks of convolutional layers, a max pool at the end, which is pretty standard, initialization, and then VGG16. So if we were to just go ahead and create the model, literally just like that, and if I were to go ahead and do like for weight in model dot, okay, I'm following you for some reason, I'm gonna stop that, unfollow, okay. For weight in model dot, and you know in Keras how we could just do get weights? Well, Swift says no. We've got to do model dot recursively all writable key paths to TensorFloat dot self. That's how you get the weights.
Okay.
And then we can do print weight dot shape.
I feel like that's a lot of work.
I mean, yeah, but don't worry. That's how Swift does it. And it makes sense once you get used to it. It makes sense as to why you would do it this way, and I'll explain that in a moment. But now let's go ahead and actually get this to compile. Now, of course, before we can get this to compile, we've actually got to install Swift for TensorFlow. So in order to do that, we're just going to go to the official TensorFlow Swift GitHub repo.
So, tell me, one of the comments said the video is not visible.
Oh, well, yeah, that would be...
No, so your screen is visible now, it's just our face is not there.
Yeah, yeah. All right. You should be able to see us now. Okay, so we're gonna go for the CPU only version, because, and you know I'm feeling risky, so we'll go for the nightly version. Don't worry.
I'm not trying to like burn my laptop today with some like bug.
Don't worry.
It's in
a Docker container. Don't worry about it.
No. So I have installed a nightly version of TensorFlow that I compile myself, and it sometimes just crashes the system.
Well, I have used the nightlies of Swift for TensorFlow, and they've barely ever given me any issues, and I trust the team. So we're going with the nightly version because they're the ones that have the XLA, or otherwise we won't get XLA support. Yeah,
imagine installing TensorFlow on a different Autotech that have no like easy way of installing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did that one time. We compiled TensorFlow 2.0 for Power back when there was no official TensorFlow 2.0 support for Power. Wasn't that fun?
And the worst thing is that the way that you compile TensorFlow, I forgot which package you used.
Bazel.
Yeah, Bazel. And to install Bazel, it used Bazel. So, and to even compile, it also used Bazel. So we have to get a Bazel one that's working, like a Bazel compiler that doesn't use Bazel to compile Bazel, and then that compile the latest version.
Yeah, that was and that too on Power, right? Doing that on x86, fine, whatever, we can do it. But doing that on Power was just a whole other thing. Oh, oh god, this is not the kind of issue I wanted to run into right now.
So there was a question that someone asked. I'm guessing this is probably to you. How do you get in touch with IBM?
Um, so it's not really one thing that happened. It was more of like a collaboration that sort of grew over time and evolved over time. It initially started with me finding a bug in the retrieve and ranks, or document conversion service is what it used to be called, which has now been merged with retrieve and rank into the discovery service. I had reported that to Stack Overflow, and eventually a couple IBMers actually saw that bug, got in touch with me, and I've sort of been collaborating with them in that way. But yeah, it wasn't really ever just one thing that happened. It was a lot of different ways in which I sort of collaborated with them.
Okay, so when you have time, can you open up an ngrok so I can actually test anything in Golang?
libstdc. Okay, we are encountering a bit of an issue. There's some sort of library that TensorFlow expects there to be that we apparently don't have. So hopefully this apt get. I was hoping that this apt install would fix this, but I've encountered this issue before, and apparently this doesn't fix it. So
Okay.
let's try actually following the official Swift for TensorFlow install instructions. Maybe there's like an apt get something that we need to do.
Okay.
Apt install. All right, let's see. Maybe this fixes it. Crossing my fingers that this fixes it. Ah, this is not good.
Okay, let me see if there's any other way of doing this.
Let's go to the Apple Swift repository and see what their instructions are for installing Swift for TensorFlow.
Well, you did use the nightly one.
That's not even remotely the issue. This is a TensorFlow issue, not a Swift issue, but still I'm just curious. All right, we're coming into an absolute unit of an install command here.
Wait, what the? Okay. I didn't think there was a Python 6 command, but okay, I learned something new
Python
today.
6? What?
Pact is Python-6.
That's not a thing.
It is. It got installed.
Okay.
Did it work?
No, that didn't fix it.
No, I'm actually curious. What is Python 6?
We can figure that out, but I'm worried about glibc. Oh, well, could it be that we need the LD, so the linker library path, to be root user lib?
Oh, you put on the root?
Yeah. Okay, so maybe if we were to do export LD library path equals, not library, like library. See, the issue is that VS Code is so laggy that I can barely type accurately. But anyhow, root user.
Well, you
lib.
are using VS Code in a browser, so like, I don't really blame it.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. So there we go. Let's try this now.
And requires. Okay, let me just Google this too now.
Root user lib Swift, maybe. Maybe no. Clang. Lib Linux. That looks pretty standard. Huh.
Is that package even there?
Which one?
glib 2.27.
Yeah, there it is. I checked. We did an app install libstdc++6, and it worked.
Mm-hmm.
Like it said that that package is already installed.
One sec. Could it be that we are using like an old version of Ubuntu?
What version of Ubuntu are you running?
16. Because Ubuntu glib is 2.23 right now.
Oh. If we add this PPA repository, which I forgot the syntax how to do, it says it should work.
Okay. I do have to just leave for like a good 10 minutes, and I'll be right back.
All right, sure.
Just not right now, in a bit.
Okay.
So I trust you in the Docker image. You know, it's on my computer. How much can you really screw up on it?
Okay, so we need to do apt install software properties. If I remember the name of the package. Oh, I actually remembered it this time. Nice.
Let's see if it works.
Okay, then we gotta do the package update. Oh, no, what are you doing?
Oh no, everything's working. Seems fine.
Oh, you went to the other shell and...
Yeah, because I need to do go mod tiny so I can download the packages.
Makes sense. Okay, apt get update and then upgrade, and then we should be good to go.
Let's see if this works. That should not compile that.
Okay, so we ran an apt update that refreshed the package list after we added a new package repository to the test repo. I don't know what that repo is. That's what Swift told us to do. And then we are now upgrading our packages that we have new versions for thanks to this new repo. Okay. Now for the moment of truth. Did it fix the issue? Okay, it fixed one of the issues.
Yeah, we got one issue fixed, okay? That's a big goal. I hate how Swift, I don't know, this whole environment's a little bit off for Golang, but...
It's even off for Swift. I don't know where you got this Docker container, man.
No, it's not that, like, none of the plugins actually work. Like, I should just get all the autocomplete and stuff, nothing worked, and it doesn't even lint correctly. For some reason, I'm able to build a Golang binary that should fail. Like, going to the main.go.
Sure.
Are you... No, so, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, oh, what? 1 minute. Then where is this? Find in folder. Oh, never mind. I know the issue for me.
All right. Well, I still haven't figured out my issue, but it looks like we are nearing a fix.
I hate getting like spam calls.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'll be back in like 10 minutes, okay?
Sure. Just so you know, really quickly, the issue is that you need to be on Ubuntu 18.04.
Well, okay, let's do this. I'm gonna restart it with the later version of Ubuntu.
Mm-hmm.
You install everything.
Sure.
Okay?
All right. Do that.
Let's do that. I'm just gonna save everything so we have everything here.
Makes sense.
Okay.
while you do that, just so you know, this is what's really interesting about developing really anything, but especially machine learning. We're 47 minutes into the live stream, and we've
And we got
barely
nowhere.
gotten to the machine learning part yet, right? The vast majority of development is not even like actually coding what you need to code. It's just getting the infrastructure ready to be able to write your code, which is unfortunate, but that's just how software development is.
Yeah, so I need to do something quickly. 1 minute.
Sure.
One sec.
All
One
right.
sec. Where's my Zoom?
In the meanwhile, let's go ahead
Okay,
and
I'm back. Let me just
Okay.
quickly clean up the stuff I need to.
So I'm wondering what the best way would be to continue with that. All right, so I'm gonna wait on your Ubuntu
Yeah.
18 until then,
Mm.
or I could go ahead and actually start writing code. So the basic structure for the Swift code is basically going to be the model loading code, right?
Okay.
And then after that, we're just going to do model BGG16. We will need a little bit of Python support, so we'll need to import PythonKit, and then we'll need to import NumPy. The reason we will need to import NumPy is so that we can get the weights from weights.mpy. And as far as I know, NumPy is going to store this in pickle format, so we're going to need to allow pickling. So we can just get the weights that way, and then do for weight in model.recursively all writable key paths to TensorFlow itself, so get all the weights. We would do model key path weight, and then we could just like basically get the
So I have some
Swift
bad
ship.
news.
What?
It doesn't let me control what version of Ubuntu. It just say Ubuntu.
Okay, do me a favor. Just install raw Ubuntu 18.
I'm trying to just get it. Let me
Okay, hold
quickly
up,
spin
hold
up a
up. I've done
server.
this many times. One sec. You don't need to spin up a whole server. I'll tell you what Docker command to run.
No, it's not that. I need to actually connect to it with VS Code, which is a little bit different.
Oh. So hold up.
Oh, okay. We have Ubuntu 20. Are you okay with that?
No, it has to be 18.
I don't have control for that.
Okay.
Give me 1 minute. Let me see the Docker command that he's using.
Can't you literally just do docker pull Ubuntu colon?
I wish.
Why not?
Okay, you continue the coding. I will set up the environment. I'm gonna do it on an actual like VM system.
Okay. Just so you know. Okay, just what Docker command are you running that you can't specify the version?
No. I mean, when you use VS Code, it does everything for you. It will connect to everything.
Oh, so VS Code is opening the Docker image for you.
Code is doing everything for me.
Okay.
I just started
That's
using
why
it.
we
So
have that issue.
I'm pretty sure there's a way to
I
connect.
thought you were running the Docker commands yourself.
No. I wish I was. Why would I ever use 16? I hate 16. I would use like the later version.
Ah,
So give me a few minutes. I'm gonna quickly
VS
set up
Code.
a server that we can quickly use with
Sure.
Ubuntu. One sec, let me just get you on then.
So
So
yeah,
you-
until then I'm gonna go ahead and write this little weight porting code.
Okay. Do keep in mind it's not going to be the back spec system, but
That
it should
doesn't
do.
matter. As long as it has like at least 16 gigs of RAM, we should be good.
At least 16 gigs of RAM.
No, I'm joking. It doesn't need to be that large, but still.
8
Yeah.
gigs is good.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, if you want 16, I do have to do a little something
Nah,
else.
it's
but-
fine. Don't worry.
Okay. I'll be back in like about 10 minutes. Just whenever you're done,
Sure.
I'll get everything else set up on my end.
Sure. Right. So, basically, what we're gonna do is implement a little bit of logic that checks the Python weight and the Swift weight, make sure they're the same shape, and if they are the same shape, then allows it to be loaded. Otherwise, throws a fatal error. So we just go for I in Swift shape. Definitely not the best way to do this. There should be a better way to do this. But since we only need to call it once, we don't need to write particularly efficient code. So we can just do if Swift shape, or we could just do if I not equal to Python shape I index, which we can probably just convert to an integer forcefully since that'll be a Python object. Then throw a fatal error. And if this ends up happening, then we'll put some logging in to help us fix it. But for now, we'll just do model key path weight equals tensor float numpy weight index, and then forcefully unwrap this and also do a bit of a cast just in case. Okay, so this code should work in theory. Now I do believe that I already have a version of Swift for TensorFlow installed on this machine, so we can make sure that I do by going to Library, Developer, Toolchains, and then from Toolchains we would go into, I think we can, yeah, Swift for TensorFlow develop. I do have a toolchain installed, that's good. User bin Swift C. Now let's see if that actually enables me to compile anything. Yeah, see, it gives us that issue. I believe we can solve that by setting the developer dir. Yeah, but we don't exactly have that thing installed right now. So how about instead of doing that, we actually open up Xcode itself, and then from within Xcode, we open up a new command line project, and then within the command line project, we go ahead and incorporate the code that we just wrote. So there we go, create a new Xcode project. Oh. Zoom really does not like screen sharing on macOS Big Sur because it takes way too much compute. Alright, so we're going to create a new macOS command line tool. And this command line tool, we're just going to call it like wait port. Just super simple. Until Omer comes back, we'll implement that wait porting. Great. Store that on the desktop, that's fine for now. Great, okay. So in main.swift now, I should be able to go ahead and copy in my code. This should be all that's necessary. As a matter of fact, I could actually even refrain from importing Python at all. Or not in Python, I could refrain from importing NumPy and just import TensorFlow.keras directly and load in the weights that way, instead of calling a Python script and then saving the weights to a file and then importing NumPy, which honestly is even more work. Okay, it's surprising that after quitting Slack, my live stream is a lot more fluent. But let's go ahead and implement that. So I'm going to copy the VGG16 code once again from the Swift for TensorFlow repo. So if we just go here, vgg.swift. Okay, so I should be able to copy in these two little blocks of code, paste them here. Now in theory, this should at least compile. Okay, it looks like there's an error somewhere in my code. Cannot assign through subscript. Okay, the model's a constant. Okay, if I make it a variable, then we should be able to modify it via key path. There we go, it worked. Now, weights.npy, of course, does not exist, so maybe a better way to do this would just be TensorFlow Keras applications vgg16 dot get weights, and then to make this compile, I'll just go ahead and import TensorFlow instead of NumPy, like so. Right? In theory, I don't see why this shouldn't work. Right, so if I go ahead and run that, let's see what happens. Now, if this doesn't do anything and it just closes, great, that means it worked. If it throws an error, like if it crashes at this little fatal error part, that is where the issues come in. Now, I am curious as to where the execution has gotten so far, so I'll probably just like pause execution in a second and check that out. Alright, so let's pause execution. Let's see where we're at. Are we still like getting weights? Are we instantiating the VGG16 model? Like, what are we doing?
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, wonderful.
Let me set up the environment then.
Great. Yeah, because trying to run all this on my Mac is super slow with the live stream.
Give me like a minute to set up everything.
Sure. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to show this file in Finder. Actually move to this directory within the terminal. Alright. So cd into here and then run it. Oh. Image not found. Isn't that great? Do we need to modify like the LD library path? No. Actually, we might need to. So maybe, but what if I do LD library path equals and then library, well, library developer toolchains this thing.
Oh my god.
What's wrong?
I have to set up my SSH keys.
That's annoying.
Yeah, give me a minute.
Yeah, it looks like we're not going to find Python Git anytime soon. Even though this was compiled against the Swift for TensorFlow library.
Looks like I need to change my password. Okay.
Because it looks like this code just isn't even running because Xcode is lagging out so much at the moment. Where are you at with that Linux machine?
Okay, I'm connected. I just gotta install the plugins now.
So are you doing this through VS Code again?
Yeah, everything's gonna be through VS Code.
Right. If you want, I can give you my SSH key and I could SSH directly into the machine just so I could start working on it.
I don't think you can.
Alright.
You should know the reason.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
I might need to, okay, reload. Okay. Okay, I got live share on now. Let me start a session. Wow, actually on a clean installation, you have to do a lot of work just to get VS Code to work correctly.
Yeah.
Okay. The one thing I do have to get credit is that they do everything themselves. I don't have to run a single command.
That's nice. So we're essentially waiting on VS Code at the moment?
Yeah, so it's installing the libraries required for you to use your browser.
Oh, okay.
So almost done.
Sure. Well, I've got the code that should load the weights in properly. So
Okay.
until then, we can actually start with DeepDream, I guess, as well. So the DeepDream implementation that we did, was that on your machine?
I believe it's on. Yeah, it should be on my system.
If you could just like send me that code.
Yeah, let me just zip it up.
Gonna send it through Slack?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wait.
That's fine. Just send me like the one Python file that has the actual DeepDream logic.
Oh, just that?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it done in Python? Oh yeah, it was. Okay. I think it was just the back end I need to send to you.
All right. Yeah, just the back end, just like the little part that
Yeah.
actually
I sent
has the
you the
logic
whole.
for DeepDream.
Yeah, I sent you everything.
Wonderful.
Let me just make sure I configure the system correctly, and then we'll do it.
Sure. Okay, so yeah, another thing about VGG is that we have to standardize the images in a specific way to actually get it to infer properly. So let's see if... yeah, it doesn't look like the Swift and TensorFlow team actually has the inference code for this written out, as far as I can tell at least.
You're just going to be in my. Oh, come on, man.
Okay, so let's build a little standardize function. Standardize.
That's not the best.
So inside the standardized function, what we could do is essentially just zero center all the pixels according to the training data of ImageNet. So the mean value, if we were to go ahead and well, technically what we're doing here is restoring the original, not actually standardizing. So this would be restore standardized tensor or image, and then we would have standardized image, both of which need this constant, so we can just say ImageNet mean over here, and then go ahead and use them within the functions. So in order to figure out how to implement this, we can pretty much just go into oh, I don't want this to be capital. Preprocess input. And if we take a look at the source code for this function, it should be relatively simple, and we can essentially just copy and paste that logic into Swift. So it's in ImageNet utils. Why does GitHub not... I've gotten so used to GitHub like just telling me where functions are when I click on them that when it doesn't work, I get a little annoyed.
Annoyed?
Okay, so looks like the way this works.
Okay, I got my Golang set up correctly.
So many functions that call other functions. Like, just make it simple.
Okay, I'm gonna send you the link.
Oh wait. It was that simple?
What happened?
These guys weren't even doing like actual standardization. They were literally just divide by 127.5 and then minus equals 1. That's it.
Oh, nice. It's pretty straightforward.
How did our code work then? Wait, I'm actually kind of confused. Where is it getting the mean value from?
Okay, Tammy, I sent you the link. Please join.
Sure.
And let me just share a session. Terminal. So I have there's two workspace. One is called the DeepDream that have everything. And for Golang, it's kind of different how you set up in VS Code. So I just have the root as Golang, so another workspace.
All right, sure. So here's what I think we're gonna do. This is gonna be pretty fun. We're going to slightly modify the way that the TensorFlow Keras preprocess image function works, and we're gonna trace the execution to figure out what it's actually running. All right, let me in. Oh no, there we go. Let me in.
Okay, you do need to install everything yourself, just to let you know.
Like Swift and stuff.
Everything. I'm just doing Golang right now.
All right, sure.
Let me see what version Golang get installed. And what?
We're on 18 right now, right?
Yeah, we're on 18. Wait, I don't even know what version Golang is gonna install. Oh, 10. 2. That's not new enough. Okay, while I get the Golang installed, can you install Swift?
Yeah. Can you go ahead and give me a new terminal?
No,
Okay.
we can do work side by side. Doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Just give let me give you access.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Do what you
Okay.
need.
So let's go ahead and just quickly install Python first, since that's like the one thing we need immediately. So apt update and apt install Python 3 dev Python 3 pip. Okay. So that's going to install the Python packages we need. Then we're going to upgrade pip. Then we're going to install TensorFlow 2.0. Then we're going to slightly modify the ImageNet utility within TensorFlow, so we figure out what code paths it calls. This is why we need the analyzer. And then we're going to run that function with a super simple sample. Then we're going to look at where it's actually what it's actually calling, what it's actually doing within the function, and then finally we re-implement that same logic in Swift so that we can actually use the weights that we get. It looks like it's still installing Python, but that should be done soon. Okay, so Python 3-m pip install --upgrade. Well, we can just say -u pip. Wait, is it supposed to be --upgrade? All right. Okay, then we can do TensorFlow greater than or equal to 2.0.
Okay, I'm just gonna copy the code that we had before.
Sure.
Do you want me to copy everything for Swift or just bgg16.swift?
There is no other file but except for VGG16.
Just like in conversion one.
Sure, copy that one too. Okay. So now we're going to do a little bit of trickery. We're going to open up Python 3, import TensorFlow, then actually just go TensorFlow so that the Python REPL tells us where it's installed. Then what I'm going to do is we're going to cd into there, go into Keras, and then ImageNet utils.
Okay, it should be uploaded, but
Huh, where is that located exactly? Oh, it's an application. And then I can just like theoretically Vim ImageNet utils.
oh, my freaking laptop is just like lagging right now.
Are your fans starting to spin up yet?
No, I mean, like, it's literally asking me to reopen VS Code. I don't want to reopen VS Code. Okay, so okay, seems to be working fine now.
Wait, am I still following you? Why does it always follow by default?
I might have set up like that.
That's annoying. Anyhow. It keeps taking me over to terminal number 4, check remote.
No, so my thing is constantly just being disconnected. Okay, it should be fine now.
Okay. No, it's still on check remote.
Really? Someone said Omer and Bahir are brothers. No, we're the same people. Okay, so is yours working now?
It is.
Okay, good.
Kind of.
So I'm able to see my split screen, so I'm guessing you probably don't have that mode enabled.
Sorry? Okay, this terminal is just completely messed up. I'm gonna ask you to open another one for me.
Okay, I'm just gonna close terminal. Let me open it again and see what happens.
I'm gonna take over terminal number 1.
Okay, there,
Oh, there we go. That's
I
good.
reopened one.
Okay, that's good. Thank
Okay, do
you.
whatever you need in that.
Great.
And I'm gonna go to terminal 1.
Good. Okay, for some reason it looks like ImageNet utils.py just simply does not exist. So let's go ahead and brute force where it is. Wow. How is that remotely even possible?
Did we install the right version?
Of what?
TensorFlow?
Yes. Okay, so it looks like the only PY files that exist are the package initialization files. Like the rest of the files that should exist don't exist.
Sound pretty right.
This is mind-bending.
This sound like the very first episode we did.
Yeah, it kind of does, unfortunately. Oh, does it? Oh. Oh, it's because TensorFlow has the worst way of structuring a package that I've ever seen. Never mind, I figured it out. Okay. So pre-process NumPy input. Here's what we're going to do. We're basically just going to say... Also, for some reason, they use 2 spaces. Whatever.
So, maybe since you're more of a Ubuntu person than I am,
Yeah.
the Ubuntu switch from APT to Snap?
No, they also support Snap, and Snap is better for some kinds of packages, but you still usually use APT.
So I literally just did snap install go and then install the latest version.
Yeah, so mostly like the more complex packages are only available in Snap.
But like Golang is such a simple package. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna complain. It's finished. Okay, go mod tiny. I mean, backend.
PD format. Okay. Let's see if this works.
Okay, so Golan's installed correctly,
That's good.
but I'm not getting none of the the ID features, but whatever. For what I need, I don't think I need it.
Alright, it's going to go ahead and download VGG16 now. Okay, not bad. Now if we do from TensorFlow, Keras, applications, import ImageNet utils, is that a thing? Oh, it is, nice. ImageNet utils dot preprocess input, is that a thing? Yes, it is. So now I can do import numpy as np, np dot zeros, and then just basically give a 1, 2, 2, 4, 2, 2, 4, 3, and say that's I shape, and then just do pre-process input on I, and it should, interesting, okay. So by default it's not on TensorFlow mode, so I would say it's in PyTorch mode. This makes it a lot clearer as to what it's doing for me. Okay. So all we really care about is this mean value, which let's make sure that I had the correct one. 103, 116, 123, 68, 779, 939. Yep, that's right. Okay. So now that that's all cleared up, pretty much all we need to do is, you know what, I'm also going to make sure that I know which mode it's running in. Well, we don't need to do that because all we need to do is go up here and figure out what the default mode is. Default mode is calf. Ooh. Why? I will say calf is pretty much the most hated deep learning framework to exist. Anyway, you have to switch RGB to BGR. Why can we not agree as humans on a single standard for absolutely anything in the world?
Wait, what? This BRG? Oh, no. Okay, I thought it was just RGB was very standardized for everything.
There's not a single thing we can agree on except for the size of shipping containers. But anyhow, let's fix that issue. Now let's see how the original function actually dealt with that, because I'm pretty sure it would need to convert. Oh, that's actually, yeah, they actually do that. That's how you restore the original image. Wow. Okay, well, let's fix it. So for the restore standardized image, what we're going to do is basically just slice out the last axis, or actually, you know what, we'll keep it simple. We'll transpose it, move the last axis to the beginning, do a simple subscript, add the mean, and then stack it back together, and then transpose it back. So we'll do x.transposed permutation. Well, the shape will already be batch size, height, width, I'm not sure if it's height, width, or width, height, but doesn't matter, and then channels, and so that would be like 0, 1, 2, 3, and we actually want 3, 0, 1, 2, yeah, so permutation would be 3, 0, 1, 2, just to move the channels to the beginning, and then all I would pretty much need to do is be like, let t is equal to this, let r equals t0, gb, well, technically it would be BGR, and then I could do plus ImageNet mean 0, 1, whoops, 1, 2, and then basically just stack them together in RGB form. So b dot stack. I know there's a torch dot stack command, but I'm not sure if there's a not sure if there's something similar for Swift. Probably not. Let's just do TensorFloat RGB, and then RGB dot transposed. What would the permutation be, though? So we have 1, 2, 3, 0 is what I think it would be, and then just return, well, this. Okay, that might be it. It more than likely is it. More than likely is. Okay, we'll see. If it isn't, we'll fix it, but for now I think we're good to go. I'm going to copy some similar code for standardized image. But instead of adding, we're going to subtract. And we're going to do it the other way around. And then we're just going to return a similar stacked version.
Do you know how to run commands in Visual Studio?
Like what?
I think I found it.
Alright.
Okay, found it.
Right. Okay, so to make sure this function actually works, we're gonna need to install Swift. So, let's...
Can you hold off for 1 minute? I have to load the session.
Why, may I ask?
Literally none of my plugins are working.
Do we really need plugins right now?
No, we can go with this. Not the
Yeah,
moment.
let's not use plugins then. Okay. So I'm going to attempt to install Swift and pray that this works this time. So installation. Let's go with the actual release this time. I'm not gonna experiment. Right, so untar this. God, I hope this works. We went through all the effort to switch to Ubuntu 18, and if this doesn't fix it...
Yeah, that'll be a pain. Okay,
Yeah.
let's see if that works at least. So I'm guessing that we didn't have the same issue as before for the location stuff, language.
Which issue?
Remember the locale stuff?
Oh yeah, no, we didn't have that issue.
Somehow we have that issue in a Docker image.
I don't know where you got that Docker image from, man. That was like a completely messed up Docker container.
I just type in Swift, so go complain to whoever maintained those Docker images.
Alright, well, whatever. So we're gonna export the path real quick. Root user bin and then the rest of the path. And then let's go into DeepDream.
I'm pretty sure root user bin is included, but okay.
It's not already.
Okay. Let me just add that into the actual path, so if I do have to reload, we don't have to do this.
comment this out for a minute and just compile. Please. Okay, so the compiler didn't crash immediately. Luckily, it actually found the libraries it needed to find.
That's good. Can we at least try it if it works?
Sure. Well, it ran.
Okay.
Okay. So let's just go ahead and do this and recompile and see if we can actually load weights. Moment of truth.
Oh.
It worked.
Works.
We can load weights into Swift from Python. That worked on the first try. I have never compiled this before and it worked.
They work. But we're still using. Are we using for TensorFlow? Do we have to call it from Python, or can we use?
No, this is just to get the weights of the pre-trained model.
Okay.
The actual tensor computation is going to happen in Swift, pure Swift.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay. So, now let's go ahead and see what happens with the standardization. So if I
Oh,
do,
you haven't created any functions yet for it?
I did.
So I'm guessing in Swift you can also just make a script, because like you didn't wrap the last chunk into.
Yeah,
anything.
yeah. Like only like a single file can do that though. Like if you have multiple projects and multiple files in a project, only one file, the main file, can contain code just loosely put there.
So it's not like Python that you can put it anywhere.
No,
And
no.
when you import it,
Only the
okay,
main
it's
file
good.
can do that.
Okay.
And if there's only a single file in the project, it's the main file.
Okay. OGB. Okay.
So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to verify that my standardization logic works.
Okay.
So we're going to do this, and then we're going to basically just stack these, and then do 1, 2, 3, 0. I'm going to print out RGB shape. Well, 1, 2, 0.
Let me know that work, and then we can connect the two pieces.
Sure. All right, we're getting super close.
Yeah.
Okay, 224, 224, 3, that's good. Then we can do standardize image RGB, or let's standardized shape standardize. Okay. So I'm going to print this out and make sure that works. Oh, illegal instruction, transpose expects vector size of 3. Yes, I kind of expected this would happen.
Okay.
Okay. Let's do this. Okay. That looks mostly good. Now I'm going to feed the same input into Python, see what it gives me. If it's the same, we're good to go. If not, we fix the logic.
Okay.
So np.ones 1 2 2 4 2 2 4 multiplied by 1 are, well, we have to import.
Oh yeah, import.
Oh, this is Python 2.
They don't have it.
G and B and oh, why did I put 3 at the end? So RGB and P array, RGB shape, RGB dot reshape, 1, 2, 3. And then from TensorFlow, Keras applications, ImageNet, utils, import pre-process image. And then, finally, if it were to work, import ImageNet, utils, pre-process image, RGB. What? We literally just called this function like a minute ago at most. Is it called something else? And I just forgot the name? Preprocess input, not image. Okay. 102, 115, 122. 102. It's slightly off somehow. 1, 2. This is weird.
Does it matter if it's like slightly off or?
Yeah, because that indicates there's an error in the logic. Or it's just printing it out differently.
Could be that, because I doubt Swift and Python deal with it the same way. For like rounding and stuff.
No, like it's different, like fundamentally different. It's not like, oh, it's a rounding error.
Wait, what?
What?
I
How is
swear.
that so different? Just a minute ago, we fed that same array in, and look at what it printed.
1 sec. Yeah, like, why is it such a big difference now? What the?
Wait,
what?
why is it giving us different output
what?
every time?
What again?
It's giving us different output every time.
Should it not be the exact same output?
Yes, it should.
Well, it looked like it's increasing by like 100 and something.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it looks like it's increasing
Wait,
by like
how is the
100.
original changing? What? The original is also changing somehow.
Yeah.
That's like not what should be happening. Let's
Well, we don't know. Like, Python love to do whatever they want.
yeah, this is why we hate Python.
This is why we like a language that's a little bit sane.
Yeah. Okay, let's print out RGB. Okay, that's good. Okay, so it just completely skips the 2, but okay, whatever. At least it exists.
So we learned the hard way again that let's not reinvent the wheel.
Yeah. I don't think I will ever get why calling this function is modifying the original NumPy array that I pass it. But who am I to ask why Keras does things the way they do?
If you can do something, you might as well do it. That's what I feel like they're trying to do.
It's modifying the NumPy array in place. Like, that should not be happening.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we forgot to compile this new version. So does the Python version do the RGB to BGR first? Yeah, it does. Okay, so it does the conversion, which we do first as well. Okay. Okay. I think this should work. Alright, this makes sense to me. Alright, well, let's try it out. I feel like that's the best way to do it. So, if we were to do pillow, and if we were to do image.open, can you go ahead and wget some random image from online of like a dog here?
Okay, I'll do that right now. There's gonna be some freaky picture it's gonna create.
Just a normal dog, please.
Okay, one sec. Let me go back to terminal. I'll put it right beside your stuff.
Put it in the Swift folder.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do that right now. wget. Okay. I'm also very curious. Are you able to open the file and see it?
On VS Code?
Yeah.
Most likely not, but I'll try it out.
Give it a try, because I'm very curious. Are you able to?
No. Oh, wait, it's no.
No?
No.
It's weird. I
Yeah.
wish images are allowed to be shown.
Yeah, I wish. I forgot you can't pass tuples from Python to Swift because Swift handles them weirdly. Anyway, you can pass lists, and they're pretty much interchangeable. Alright. So if we run this, it should feed that data into... Oh, we forgot to install Pillow, didn't we?
So it's only a pillow, it's okay.
Okay, so it imported at least. Should load the model, load the weights, process the image, and of course, it crashes. Oh, you call it max res default, not dog.
Oh,
Alright.
come on, man. You didn't tell me what name to put it.
I mean, I said downloaded dog, but I'm joking.
You
I'm
said
joking,
download
it's a joke,
dog.
it's a joke.
Do you want me to download some more RAM? Like,
I mean, why not? I would love some. Anyway, so what kind of dog is it, do you know?
I have no idea. I just
Alright.
took a dog.
Sure.
It looked like could be a golden retriever, but I'm not 100% certain.
Does Swift for TensorFlow have an argmax? If it does, I will love this API. Oh my god, it does. That's nice. Okay, so now it should print out the class, and if we finally get this class, that means VGG is working. So let's go to ImageNet classes. So we are looking for 258 because we're doing 0 indexing. Oh wait, never mind. We are actually looking for 257. Was it a white dog?
Yeah, it is a white dog.
Nice. Okay, we got the weights loaded. Oh my god, an hour and 40 minutes later, we have weights.
So we're just getting white at the output
No,
now?
no, no. We're getting like the name of the dog. We're getting the name of the dog breed, but the best way I can describe the dog is it's a white fluffy dog.
Oh, you say white fluffy dog?
Yeah.
It
No, it
is.
says Great Pyrenees, however you pronounce that, but
I have. Okay, I did not know that was what it was.
okay.
So I give
I'm
up
very excited.
completely.
Give up what?
I give up completely using VS Code. I'm going to my IntelliJ because there's literally no like autocomplete, auto correction, nothing.
Were
The
you about
link,
to say IntelliSense?
yes,
Like you're
okay.
thinking in IntelliJ branding.
No, no, but you know the funny thing is, when you do search it on VS Code,
Hmm.
they do refer to that as well.
Oh, do they? Okay, well, it's like Sharpie or Velcro at this point.
No, no, Golang IntelliSense stopped working after upgrade to Go 113, and this is for VS Code.
Okay. Well, all right. So we've got VGG working. Now let's go ahead and. Oh wait, hold up.
Well,
I didn't even standardize that image before I fed it into the network. I forgot to do that. Is that is that just not important? Does the network not care? Well, let's see.
should we standardize it just to assume that's the right way of doing it?
Well, we're about to see if that makes a difference.
Anyways, I'm just gonna add in some flags so we can at least have something.
If this works, let's just quickly go ahead and implement the DeepDream little gradient thing and then call it from Go so that we can call it a day.
If we can get that far.
I think
Yep,
we
15
should be able
minutes.
to. 207 is the new. Okay, I want to see what this original image is. Let me see. Okay, for some reason it's like, oh, I can't open this file. Can you Slack me this dog image?
Oh, sure. No, I
Super
can
quick.
literally just give you the link to it.
Okay.
If you type in dog in Google, it's the very first one.
Okay, well, Google personalizes search results, so give me yours, so give me the link so I can make sure that I get the right one.
Minute. It's a YouTube video of all places.
Just give me the link.
Wait, I don't see the dog anymore. Okay.
Should I just download an image?
No, no, no. I have the command. Here we go. Here's the exact dog.
I want the exact dog that we downloaded.
Yeah, I'll give you the exact breed.
Okay, so that's a golden retriever. Okay. Okay, see, so we got golden retriever over here, and once we actually standardize, it gives us the correct prediction. Before it was giving us a different dog breed. So it was working, but it wasn't working as well because it didn't understand the data from the color channels. Okay. We are a step closer to freedom here. Now, if I were to go ahead and...
Quit
What? Quit what?
this.
No. Not quitting. Got so far. Okay, so now let's implement DeepDream super quick.
Okay.
I'm going to base this off of the code that I wrote for Python. So we're going to just do like a quick DeepDream on some tensor. And let's just say standardized image x for I in 1.6 print I and then standardized or TensorFlow dot gradient for standardized at image, returning a loss, which is a floating point tensor. And then we want to do you know what I just realized?
What?
We want to strip off the layers at the end, don't we?
Yes, we do. Do we
Alright.
not have an easy way of doing that?
No, we can do that. We can do that. So
Okay.
we just need to count the number of weights that we need to remove from Python. So this is 2, this is 2, this
I love
is
how
2.
we depend on Python.
Only temporarily. Okay, so 2, 4, 6. We need to remove 6. Let's just remove 6. Oh wait, actually we don't need to modify that because Swift will handle it for us. Okay, that's good. And then we can literally just do model image. That's literally it. And then just get the gradient and maybe the value too. TensorFlow value with gradient. Maybe I can just use Xcode for this. TensorFlow.value with gradient of value gradient. Okay, so it's actually value grad and value gradient. And it's of, not for. And then we could just do print value and standardized equals the gradient multiplied by 1.5 divided by, or yeah, 1.5 divided by absolute value of the gradient mean plus some epsilon value. Okay, and then we just pretty much return restore standardized image for X. And in theory, all we should need to do is do DeepDream image. And
So
we should be good to go.
before I continue, Swift is going to get the raw data or just the file path, or what exactly?
File path.
Okay, let's make it easier.
It's not even of, it's at. Output, cannot find output in scope. 49. Yeah. Okay, looks like it compiled. There's probably going to be some sort of runtime error, but still, for a first try, let's see how we do.
Yeah, let's see how.
Oh, it's actually running.
Let me know how it go.
Oh wait, I forgot. I'm literally just setting it to the gradient. We want to set it to add from the gradient. Okay. Like I'm passing the gradient back into the network. Okay, somehow we're doing gradient ascent and we're managing to descend the loss.
Okay.
1.5 divided by the absolute value of the gradient. That gets meaned. We add an epsilon.
So before I continue, I'm gonna do something that you're probably gonna disagree on when you
What?
see the code. Is that I'm going to assume that throughout the code, I'm always going to get an image, not the image path, because we eventually want to make this into a REST call, and we're not gonna get the path from the local system. That it'll be sent to us.
Well,
So
considering it's 11:52, I don't think we have time for a
yeah,
rest call.
I know, I know. I'm just going to do the conversion quickly. So like from the CLI, it will just load as the image and just the rest of the process will be the exact same thing.
All right.
Is one inefficiency that we have to do, but whatever.
Sure, that's fine.
One moment.
Okay, there we go. It's working. Nice. Okay, so just so you know, everybody, quick recap of what we've got so far. We've got Swift for TensorFlow, running DeepDream. We still have to actually verify the output by looking at it, but in theory, it looks like it's working because we are increasing the mean value of the final layer. For VGG, we're going to get a DeepDreamed dog, a DeepDream golden retriever at the moment. Looks to be pretty fast. It's not too slow, considering that it's running on CPU and more than likely is using eager execution at the moment. And it's loading in weights from Python, but all of the tensor computation is happening in Swift. So how about we go ahead and actually take a look at the result. So I'll just do a pretty simple conversion back to NumPy. How exactly would I do this in thing? Okay, so we would just do result.make NumPy array. I'm gonna quickly check.
Okay, I'm back.
All right.
One sec.
Yeah, so it's make NumPy array. So make NumPy array, and then result NumPy. We're gonna clip it 0 to 255. Convert it to uint 8 and get the 0th element, and then just do an image from array result np and then save it as DeepDream PNG. All right, let's try this out. So now it should not only run the DeepDream, it should actually go ahead and save the result to disk.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
No worries. Okay, so we've got DeepDream.png, which thanks to VS Code, I can't take a look at, so Omer's going to need to Slack that to me.
Okay, you got it done?
Yeah, it's called DeepDream.png.
Let's see how the file looks like. DeepDream. No, that's not DeepDream.
Wait, what? Let me see. What's wrong?
That's not DeepDream.
Show me what.
The dog fish seems so sad. I'm sorry.
Let me see. I want to see the image.
Let me send it to you. Then you understand why. Oh, you know what the sad thing is?
What?
This is going to be one sec. Let me share my screen. Let me just like minimize everything that I don't need to show.
What happened to the poor dog?
You understand once you see the dog. I'm sorry. It looked like a sad dog.
Well,
DeepDream
is
it's sad. Okay,
yeah.
let me share my screen now. Nothing's really important up. Share screen. Host is disabled screen sharing.
Well, there we go. You can share now.
Okay. Let me share my what's it called? VS Code. This is an aside excuse of DeepDream. Okay.
That is not a deep. Show me the original again. What happened there?
Could it be that it's because of the no?
It's literally just making it bright. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even doing anything. It's just. Huh. I'm stumped.
This is a disgrace.
It is. It really is. What could we have done wrong? Are we using a layer that's too far up the stack? What if we remove this one?
Yeah, just rerun it again, and then see what happens.
Yeah. All right, let's try this. Okay, so I've removed one of the blocks, so that should be like 4 more layers up.
Okay. Do you rerun it?
It's still rerunning. It's still like running at the moment.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see.
There we go. It's done.
Did the image even...
Close the tab. Maybe it's like using a cached version. Open it up.
Let me just delete
What?
it. Let's rerun it.
Whoopsies, you ran the compile command.
When does it take to compile?
Like a
Okay, it's
minute.
done. Hopefully it doesn't take too long.
All right, open it up. Ooh,
No.
that is an incredibly sad excuse for a deep dream. Huh, what could the issue be?
DeepDream is this. 6 installation. Is there like anything massively different than the one that we did in Python?
No, it's pretty much the exact same logic. We restore the original image at the end, then we clip, then we convert to 8-bit integer unsigned. We get the 0th element because there's only one image. We return that image. This already calculates the mean. Like if you scroll up in the code and you go to call as function, you can see that it does the backbone dot mean. The mean's already being calculated.
So VGG16 is not already integrated in just for TensorFlow?
No. But I know that this network is working because we are able to do classification and it gives the correct output for classification. Okay. So the network is working in and of itself. Let me just look at my Python code once more.
I don't have the Python code on me, so...
You literally slacked it to me.
I know, I don't have it on, like, open.
Oh.
And I can't close Slack because I don't want to slow down my laptop right now.
So we add the gradient multiplied by the mean value of 1.5 divided by the absolute value of the gradient. Huh. That's quite literally the exact same logic. Are they using the same activation functions as us is the question. Relu, yeah, they literally are. Let's try removing another block of layers. Let's try removing 2 blocks of layers. Alright, let's try that. More than likely won't make a difference, but it's worth a try. Okay, so we're going to delete the DeepDream.
Yeah, I'm going to delete that right now. Oh, you did?
Yep. And I'm going to run.
Cancel. I was about to delete the script code.
Oh, God. Alright. Look at it.
Same thing.
What?
Yeah, there's no change.
That is like...
Uh, are we
Oh.
getting the proper
Oh.
image? Okay, let's see.
I was returning the original input value from the function.
I'm just hoping this work. Now,
Can you believe that? I was returning the original input value from the function. What?
let's see if it worked. I'm very curious.
I'm pretty sure it will. Alright, check it out. Your
That's
face says a lot. Share
that's
your screen.
what
Share your
just
screen.
happened?
Share your screen. Share your screen.
It worked.
Share your screen.
I am, but like
Oh
a little
dear.
too
Wow.
much.
Well, it worked though.
What pattern is it trying to go?
Well, remember this is like super close to the bottom of the network. If we
Can
add
we? Yeah, can we like go back a little bit to the top?
back. Yeah,
Whatever the direction is.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, my first expression just say exactly what this is.
All right. So
Oh, nice. Something error. Returned. Oh, do you fix everything?
nearly. Well, at least there wasn't an error in the DeepDream logic. By any chance, if it seems like we're still getting too strong of output, then I can decrease the number of iterations of DeepDream that we do.
Oh, I'll share my screen so you can probably see it. Okay. You know, this one look kind of more. Wait. I love it. Just really the eyes pop in the nose.
Yeah. Well,
Like
that's DeepDream, all right.
it kind of doesn't look like a dog anymore, but it looks like maybe an ape or monkey or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
It look. If someone tell me this is a golden retriever, I will not believe them.
Yeah, you're right.
No, but I do have to say it does dream way better than before.
Yeah.
Like even in Python, it didn't really get to this.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
right.
But
You're
again, it could be the layers I was currently on or a different model.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just really quickly compile this to a shared library and just pass it a file name from Go, just so that we will have done some interoperation.
Yeah, can you get the compilers to
I'm
show
gonna do the
library?
compilation. You can
Yeah.
go ahead and do the other stuff.
I will try to get quickly the Go stuff done as fast as possible.
The only thing I'm wondering is how do you pass a string to Swift?
A string to Swift?
Okay, well, I'll figure it out.
Wait, I'm gonna pass you a C string, just to let you know.
Okay, so
Like,
an integer 8 pointer. Okay.
most likely. Whatever it is. So from the, here, I'm just looking at this. I'm gonna quickly get the Golang code done for this. Are you okay if I save it as a PNG?
Yeah. The file is, the type does not matter at all.
Okay.
I'm forgetting what the function macro is to tell Swift that you want to export this. C decal, okay. Okay, so this is the like naive way of doing it. Let's see if Swift accepts this. I'm pretty sure I made a syntax error here, but let's see.
Let me see and go on how to load like any type of
Oh,
image.
hey, it worked. Now we gotta do like a load model function.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm pretty sure this is actually gonna throw a Swift for TensorFlow differentiation error, but let's see.
You can change the Go code there to whatever you want.
Oh,
to
that
see-
worked.
Oh, I did?
I'm actually surprised I know the Swift syntax.
You are a little genius. The next one is going to be...
Okay. This should help me test out the code. And if this works, we'll just quickly call it from Go, and we're good to go. Why does it give me buffer pointers? Like, I just want a regular...
So you're gonna save it back as an image for me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And the function's gonna return me the path, right?
No, you're gonna pass me the path where you want it saved.
Okay. In this case, I'm just gonna make it a very simple. So I need to pass you.
Alright, looks like it's working. So,
Okay.
now, all we should really need to do is say source file, destination file.
What is the function name that I need to call?
Run DeepDream. The D in DeepDream is capital, so just camel case.
Actually, I can just go into it directly and get it. No one DeepDream. Okay. And then I'm gonna pass it.
I'm gonna rename
pointer.
this.
Oh, I'm gonna pass it 2 pointers.
Yeah.
I think C strings are pointers. Let me
Yeah,
double
yeah.
check. Unsafe C char. Okay, we should be fine. Oh, you rename it?
Yeah.
Okay. It looks like we also need to include a header before we can link the Swift binary.
I'll give you a header.
Okay, quickly create that for me. And then I almost have the code done. So this is just very straightforward, nothing complex.
I mean, like, you need it in a .h file, or can I just give you like the function header?
And then I need a .h file.
Okay, fine.
Let me just paste in the code I have currently. Okay, so go Swift the header. Okay, so the header is gonna be
This
just
is
called
literally
go
a
Swift.
deepdream.h.
Mm-hmm.
And the library is libdeepdream.so. So. It's saved in the Swift folder. Do you want to share your screen now, and I can just show people your screen since it's all in your computer now?
No, I put it back in the VS Code now.
Okay.
You should see it. If you go into main.go. So the thing is, it's going to be a little tricky how we do this. We need to kind of move the shared binary and the header into Golang, in the Golang folder.
Sure. Yeah, just copy them.
Yeah, let me just set up the Golang component.
Mm-hmm.
Make include.
Now, for the first time, I'm actually going to follow you on VS Code.
What?
I'm going to follow you on VS Code finally. We're going to use that feature.
What was your header? DeepDream header?
Yep, deepdream.h.
Okay.
You have to copy two, yeah.
Yeah, I need to. Okay, I don't know. I think this might be the name of the file. Let me see where they put the actual binary. Okay, we can give it a try and see if it works. I doubt it's gonna work, but...
Where does go_Swift come from? Okay, yeah. Did you copy the shared library?
No, you name it as lib deep dream.
When you do -L, you don't need the lib. You just need the name of the library.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. Capital D is fine too.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want to
Okay.
copy the library over to Golang folder?
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out, does it have to be there? Because it doesn't make sense.
Okay, you know what?
Okay.
Simple. Hold up. Okay, it'll work now.
Okay.
Okay, go, run it.
Oh.
You're in the include folder.
Unexpect main.find. Wait, what? Oh, okay. There's something.
You have two main functions. Delete one of them.
What's that?
Wait, hold up. Its code is like...
I'm trying to see which one I can delete and which one I cannot delete.
Okay, super simple solution.
Oh, okay. Found it.
Oh, yeah? Okay, go ahead.
It's two main functions, and so it looked like we literally duplicated a lot of the
it's
stuff.
like it got corrupted or something.
Yeah. So let
You
me.
can literally just... Yeah, great. Okay, run that.
So this is not gonna work, but it is just to see if the.
Could not
Okay, what?
determine kind of name for C.run DeepDream. What?
Let me see how you're supposed to build it. Go build. No, same exact thing. Go build.
Let's see. Okay, looks like it's an issue. Remove the blank line above import C. Okay, I think if you,
If that's the issue, I'm very.
no, it wasn't.
No, it looked like it's unable to actually determine. Is the header? No, the header's correct.
Yeah, but it says that multi-line imports, like what we tried to do, would break it. Oh, it worked.
Okay. So once we get that, okay, we just need to call. No, it doesn't work now. We need to actually call it. This would be the image path, and then we are going to get the image saved here. So actually, we really don't care because it's gonna just get saved in the exact same location. We can worry about the logic afterwards.
Well, it also needs you to pass it the destination.
Yeah, I give you a destination.
Where? No, you only give me a... Oh, never mind. Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, good.
No, I messed up the
Good,
naming
good.
convention.
Good.
Wait. So I give you the okay. I have to give you the file first, the image file first, and then I have to give you where to save it.
Yeah. Okay. Huh.
Can I quickly do it?
Yeah.
Oh, it cannot be found.
Okay, simple solution.
Can we export the? Okay, we're good.
Okay, so what do we do now?
So I made sure you have to give it a flag. So
Okay, so
let's go.
root DeepDream Swift. My God, is it gonna work?
Is it going to work?
What's it doing?
Hey, it
it's
worked.
calling it. We did it.
Does it save correctly now? Oh, I save it as PNG.
It worked. It worked.
And
oh my God.
Yeah, it did work. Okay,
21
we
minutes
got it
over
work.
budget, but we did it.
It worked.
Oh my God, that is incredible. Well, at least we can say that today we did achieve the original goal of our live stream. So what we just did is we went ahead and wrote some Swift for TensorFlow code to do DeepDream with some Python code, mostly just for speed, like speed in terms of coding time, not actually runtime. But this could very easily be written in pure Swift. As a matter of fact, we will likely in the future go ahead and rewrite this in pure Swift. Now, another thing that we did is we actually went ahead and compiled that Swift for TensorFlow code, not even just raw Swift code, Swift for TensorFlow code on a Linux machine, right? So running an Apple language on a Linux machine, something a lot of people don't usually think of when they think of Swift. We ran it on a Linux machine, we compiled it to a shared library, we created a header for the Swift file, imported that header and the Swift shared library inside of Go, and then called the Go code in order to have us run DeepDream. Now you're wondering, you're literally just calling the function. What's the point of this? The point is that when you actually have a lot of other code in Go, things like REST APIs that need to call your Swift or TensorFlow code, these sorts of things, instead of rewriting that whole backend in Swift or having to do TensorFlow in Go, which is definitely not ergonomically comfortable, then you can easily write Swift or TensorFlow code, export it, run it within Go, which we will do in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just quickly see if we have any questions that we want to answer. Do you see anything interesting in the comments, Omer?
Not yet.
Okay, we see.
Well, there's a question at the end. Do you believe in the full stack developer get chance for MNC companies?
Multinational companies?
Oh, yeah. Then the app developers?
I would say, yeah, I mean, of course, if you're full stack, it's I would say easier to get a job because there's more stuff that you can actually do. And at the same time, I don't think it's particularly difficult to go from just apps to full stack, because once you learn to develop, once you learn to code, it's just basically just a matter of extending logic. Like I barely code in Go, but still, I was able to help out Omer with like running CGO stuff because I just understand the basic logic, right? And similarly, Omer barely codes in Swift, but he's able to help me out with like figuring out why, for example, my DeepDream logic isn't working, because again, he understands the logic. So I think it's definitely advantageous to sort of learn, even if you don't specialize in everything across the stack. Learning everything across the stack is important because it gives you a bit of a better idea as to how everything works and sort of communicates with each other. It can even help you get better at whatever part of the stack you want to specialize in. So I would say that yes, it is important.
And let me see if there's any other questions. No. Oh, there's a question for you, Tammy.
Which one?
Oh, okay. So the first one, okay, there's a question for me, how to install Go.
Yes.
If you're on Ubuntu, snap install Go. If you're on any other system, I believe if it's Fedora based, you can just do yum install, and it's very straightforward. If you know how to install like any other languages like Swift or Python, it's similar to that. The last question is, how do people like me who is really passionate in the field of IT get in touch with IBM? Any suggestion?
Unfortunately, that's not something that I particularly specialize in. I mean, as you know, it's not like I sort of made an effort to get in touch with them. But really, it's I would really say it depends. Person to person, it depends on what it is that you're passionate about. I believe that there are ways that I'm forgetting the name of it, but Omer, there's the what's the place that you can go to for IBM where you can apply for like different positions? I forgot the name of that.
Oh, it's like on their own website.
Yeah, it's on the IBM website.
Marketplace.
Something on those lines.
Yeah.
I will try and find that link and potentially put that in the description. But generally doing the work that you're passionate about, working on technology, building a network on places like LinkedIn and sort of applying to different places that IBM supports online. So for example, there's the
yeah. So I'm on the Canadian website, but it should be the same for anywhere else. But if you just type in on Google IBM jobs, just take your website. There'll be a difference between full-time and entry-level / intern.
Yeah.
So you can try looking if there's any position in your area.
Yeah. I think ironically, Omer, you would know more about this than I would, but
okay.
But
I haven't. Okay, other than from an intern experience, I don't really know anything else because I just got rehired right after.
Yeah, unfortunately, neither. I don't particularly know very much about that either. But if I do find anything out, or if you have more like specific questions, then feel free to let us know, and we can answer those. But yeah, just really quickly, you answered how to install Go. I'll answer how to install Swift. Depends on your platform. Ubuntu, really regardless of platform, I would recommend going to the official swift.org website, download the latest release from there, extract it, and there we go, it's on your system.
I think that's the best way.
Yeah, that is the best way. If you are on Mac, however, install Xcode. That's the only way to do it. You can't just download it. Even if you download it, you need to have Xcode installed to run
What?
Swift.
Really?
Yeah, because
I just
Xcode fundamentally contains all the developer tools to enable your Mac to do any kind of development. Like you
okay.
can't even install
But
package
no,
managers without Xcode.
no, that's fine. But as long as if you want to install just the basic necessity for Xcode, yeah, but you don't need the IDE.
No, you need the whole IDE.
Wait, what?
The whole IDE contains the developer tools within it. When you install the IDE, all the developer tools go bye-bye.
I just got the developer tools, okay, for everything for my stuff. For
Well, technically,
Go.
the command line tools you can
Yes.
get without Xcode, right? But the developer tools need Xcode.
I just not a big fan of downloading 10 gig just for something that I never use in my
7 gigabytes. 7.
life. Okay.
Not much of a difference, but still.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Omer, for joining me today. I appreciate it. This was a really fun episode, and hopefully we can work on similar stuff in the future. Calling.
So there's
different
one
groups.
last thing. The guy mentioned he's under 18.
Oh yeah.
So based on the region, country, there might be some interns for like high schools. Like the one in Canada, starting to do high schools interns starting like 2 years ago. So maybe wherever you're from, they might also have the opportunity as well.
Mhm.
So just try to reach out and see if those opportunities are there for you.
Wonderful. Definitely. Take a look at that, Tassin, and again, if you have more specific questions or something of that sort as to what you want to do, feel free to let us know, and we'll try and answer those questions in the comments or through email. And again, so thank you very much, Omer, for joining. Thank you, everybody, for joining the live stream today. Once again, we hold similar live streams usually on Wednesdays in the morning at around 10 a.m. Eastern time. So feel free to join next time. And if you do want to be notified whenever I schedule another stream like this, do feel free to subscribe to the channel. It would be really helpful, and turn on notifications. That way, you actually get notified when we schedule streams like this one, or when we actually start streaming. And so with that. Again, feel free to send any more questions if you have them, and goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.